Welcome to Ampry. In this video we are going to cover how to create your sites, your placements, choosing a template, and then get your content in there for all of your different placements. This is going to be step 2. Step 1 is installing Pixel. So if you haven't installed your Pixel yet, then you should go back and find that help file or watch the video that we created for that. So what we're going to start out with is creating your site. To create a site, you're just going to click on the Add Site button. You're going to give your site a name, and then you're going to add your domain in there. We have one in here created already that I'll show you. So there's the name, and then you're adding the domain there as well. We'll show the edit so that you can see the domain, how we have it in there. You can also add the HTTP, and if it's a secure site, you can add it like that as well. If it's not a secure site, and you add this in here, that is going to mess with how the pixel fires. So just make sure that you have the URL in there as it needs to be. So that's going to be step 1. Once you've created your site, you're going to be able to click into it. This is where you're going to add your placement. And when you're creating this for the first time, it'll actually walk you through the whole process as one, so you won't even have to click on these buttons. But if you have something that's been created, it's also good to see where you can add new placements. So this is where you're going to add your placement. This is kind of the step 2 of this. So first thing you're going to do is give your placement a name. We'll just call it test, and then you're going to choose your placement type. So depending on what placement you're trying to create something for, whether you're trying to do some notification pop-ups, whether you're trying to do some sort of a sticky bar, or whether you're doing some sort of on-page or native ad type unit. And then also we have the pop-ups, so we're talking exit intent pop-ups or timed pop-ups, scroll pop-ups, scroll percentage, things like that. And so you're going to choose what type of placement you're wanting to create. Just for the purposes of this video, we'll click on the notification one here. Once you've selected your placement type, you'll see that these options change as far as what customizations you're going to be doing for these. The notification has a lot more where you're choosing the position for desktop, mobile, the different animation, timing, what delay you want, things like that. And then customization as far as, do you want it to continuously loop through these notifications, allow visitors to close the bar, close for good, open in any window. So you have all these options that you're going to choose from, and so you're just going to fill this out and then click on the next. Step 2 of adding the new placements, you're going to decide where you want to display your placement, where in your site. So the 3 options: show on all pages, meaning if you've placed our pixel site-wide, it's going to show on all the pages. Or you can limit it to contains or simple. Simple, you're just putting in the URL. Again, HTTP, HTTPS are important here if you're adding those in there, making sure you're putting the exact URL in. And then contains is going to be, it's going to show on all of your pages that contain something. So one example of this could be if you have a thank you folder, you're split testing a few different thank you pages. You can even add the brackets in there as well. So if it's a folder within your URL, you can add that in there. And again, once you've got that on there, you're going to click on the plus button to add. So as you can see, you can add more than one contains, and it applies to the simple as well. You can add more than one web page. So if you have a few different web pages and you just want to put those 2, 3, 4, 5 different pages in here to track on just those pages, you can do that as well. And then once you've completed that, you're going to click on the next, and then this is where you set your goal. So if you've created an event already, it's going to be in your drop-down list. If you haven't created an event, you can click on this button to create an event. We actually have a help file and video that will show you creating the event, getting the event set up. So we won't cover that in depth here. But once you've done that, then you're going to go ahead and create the add placement button. And that's what's going to create your placement here. The 3rd step, and let's click into, like we said, our notification one. 3rd step, you're going to create your template. So once you've chosen what type of placement you're going to use, so like we talked about on this one, notifications, you're going to choose the template for that. You're going to obviously give your template a name. So you're just going to name it test again. And then you're going to select the type of notification that you're wanting to use. So once you've Once you've chosen the placement, again, you're going to choose the type of placement. So we have alerts, reviews, some different signals, and as you click on these, it will show you the different options that we have available for our reviews. After you've done that, you're going to select your layout. You'll see more options in here. This is kind of our stage environment that they're adding those to right now. But you'll see the options here to choose from, and it will give you a picture of what that's going to look like. Then from there, you're able to customize your template. So to make it match the design of your website or to stand out or whatever you want to do, you can make changes to a lot of different things within it to make images bigger, smaller, text, the headline descriptions, the icons, the buttons. You'll be able to control all of those here. Once you've updated it, made it look how you want, you're going to go ahead and click on the next button. The last thing we're going to do before creating the actual content for these is we're going to add our targeting. So you'll see it defaults to just serve on mobile and desktop, meaning it's going to serve on all devices. But you can also, if you wanted to create a template, one for mobile only and one for desktop only, you're able to do that here as well. Other conditions that we have, you'll see those all right here. Very standard one, geolocation. So if you wanted to serve something, and we'll add that in here. So you'll see you add this in, and we can just say we want to serve these maybe to people just in the United States. The other thing we could do, language. So for those in the US, you know, there are a lot of Spanish speakers here, so you can go ahead and choose the different language that you want to have, and it will use, so you could create English ads and Spanish ads to market to your audiences. Once you've added these in here, you're going to go ahead and click on the Create Template button. And that's what's going to create this. Then from here, once we've chosen our template and updated everything, the last thing we're going to actually do is we're going to create the content for that. So you'll see right here we have one ad in here currently, one temp content for one of the placements. Go ahead and give that a name. Choose the template. Once you've chosen the template, then it will show you the different fields that you need to fill out, right? So your destination URL, you're going to upload your image, or if you've already uploaded it to the media library, click on that and it'll have all your images here, and you can search through your media, or you can click to upload or drop the file there as well. Then for some of the other content that we have here, you're going to be able to make some changes here as well through the text editor. So for instance, with the name John Smith, if we wanted to underline that, bold that, it will update that into the system for you, and you'll be able to see a live preview of that. So with headline description, those different things, you'll have the text editor there for you to work with. This specific template has a rating selector, so if you wanted to make that, change that to 4-star, 4.5 star as you're adding, you know, for this one you're adding a review, it's a review, so you're going to be adding your review, and you can change the button text as well. Once you've filled out all the fields here, you've got everything how you like, you're going to go ahead and create that content, and you'll see that it throws that in there. It'll give you a preview of that. We also have these action icons as well. So if you wanted to edit the template or edit the content that you're creating, place to add a note. So if you have notes you want to keep track of things, or just any note, you can go ahead and add that and save that there. You can preview the template, you can clone it, and then you can also click on the create button there as well, which is similar to that. So you can clone on any level here as well. So that's a quick overview from basically the whole kind of site setup, campaign setup, if you want to think of it as a campaign, from first all the way till the last part where you're creating your site, and then you're creating the placement within the site, you're choosing your template, and then you're creating the content for that template. So we also have a help file that will walk you through, has some different screenshots, so you can go ahead and check that out as well. And as always, you can hit up support@ampry.com if you have any questions. Thanks.